right, race fans, Ryan Aho here, bringing you the Midwest Mod episode of the One to Go Show weekly series. So we're going to be talking about Midwest mods all season long, mostly WISSOTA Midwest Modifieds, couple non-sanctioned tracks. We'll throw them, give them a little love as well. But before we do, quick shout out, new sponsor of the show. Excited to be partnered up with these guys, Minnesota Truck Headquarters. Number one, it's Minnesota's largest and number one pre-owned dealership. Why, right? Over 500 vehicles priced and ready to sell. Family owned. They're a family owned business, family friendly. 1,000 plus positive reviews, not just reviews, positive reviews. Straight up Advantage program. Find out more about that from them. Fully experienced Minnesota Truck Headquarters garage and employees and staff, right? So find out what the buzz is about. Check them out. Minnesota Truck Headquarters. They do a lot for racing. You see their name everywhere. They support dirt track racing. They support a lot of drivers involved with dirt track racing. So a huge thanks to them. Make sure to check them out. Now, what are we going to do on this show? So all season long, we're going to be bringing you recaps of what's been happening in Midwest Modified Racing. We're going to talk about points battles, right? Series, special events, weekly racing, you name it, right? We're going to talk about all of that. We're also going to be bringing you the BuyRaceSearch.com top 10 power rankings each and every week. We'll talk more about that in a week or two here. We're going to talk about Midwest Mod drivers. We're going to give you folks some love for the success you're having behind the wheels. And if you can't win the show, you need to be the show, because even if you don't win the show, we might talk about you a little bit, the good, bad, and the ugly, but we're going to have some fun with it. But on this one here, we're going to talk about the champions of 2022, the track champions, the regional stuff, right? The national championships. Why? Because championships matter, right? You need to make championships great again. You know who's doing that? Granite City Motor Park. You need to check out their Facebook page if you haven't already, because James is throwing a bunch of money towards track champions in 2023, and they got a bunch of contingency awards to throw in there as well. Super cool what they're doing for the racers over there, and I'm a firm believer in racing for track championships. Some of you might not race for track championships. That's okay. You want to race for the money. No problem with that. But on today's show, we're going to talk about the champions. Next week, we're going to talk about some of the special event winners. So let's start over in Minnesota. Let's start there, okay? And a lot of Midwest mod tracks. We're going to try to get through this quickly so you're not here for an hour and a half, right? So Bemidji Speedway, home of the Chicken Shack. Jeff Reed in the 2R, 3 wins in Bemidji. He ain't winning it in 2023. Why? Moved up to the A mod. Jeff has been successful in a Midwest mod. I'm super excited to see what that second generation driver can do behind an A mod. And it sounds like there's going to be quite a few new ones up in that area. Norman County Raceway up in Ada, Minnesota. Aaron Blacklance. He got her done. Drives 3 different cars. Going to park the streeter this year, focus on mod and Midwest mod. But he said he does plan to race over in Ada again weekly with the Midwest mod in 2023. We'll see if he can go back to back. Chateau Speedway down in Lansing, Minnesota. Greg Pfeiffer Jr., the 00 Jr. down there. 2 wins down there, right? Got him done in Lansing. Bad news. Bad news for Lansing. Absolutely bad news. I'm not sure on all the details. You can all check into exactly why. Heard a few things, but don't really want to get into that. But needless to say, it sounds like the Chateau Speedway in Lansing not looking to be opening in 2023. Hard to say if it ever will again. There's some stuff going on. Hopefully it does. A lot of history down there. But kind of a cool thing, he's got 2 cars. Old USMTS A-Mod ace Tommy Meyer going to be piloting a 65 for him. So it's going to be kind of fun. He's going to be running. I know they're going to run at Deer Creek, maybe some specials as well. So Greg and Tommy Meyer are going to be fielding Midwest mods in southern Minnesota. Deer Creek Speedway, Caden Calf. He took the 83X, 4 wins, 9 total on the year. He had a great season down there. Not exactly sure what he's going to do, because I know he ran over at Chateau quite a bit as well. It'll be interesting to see what all happens with only one WISSOTA Midwest mod track down in southern Minnesota. Now let's head out west, western Minnesota. Fiesta City Speedway in Montevideo, Minnesota. Madison Speedway in Madison. The 11S, Darren Anguser, doubled up. Pair of track championships for him. Darren had 2 wins in Monty, 1 win in Madison, 3 total on the year. Super consistent. Seems like he's on the podium or contended for a podium just about every single night. So the driver from Gary, South Dakota, getting himself a pair of track championships in 2022. Now, let's head north. Another driver, not going to be winning championships in this class, I promise, next year. Tyler Kittner, the track champion up at the Dowlinger Ford, Grand Rapids Speedway, and at the Hibbing Raceway up in northern Minnesota. 14 wins on the year, 8 at Hibbing, 5 at Grand Rapids. He's going back to an A-Mod. He's won in the Super. He's won in the Pure Stock. He's won in the Midwest Mod a lot. But guess what? He's moving to the A-Mod division in a brand new TRC car, and he's already won races in the A-Mod. It's going to be fun to see if he can throw some sliders and hip checks there with the old 45J and 45 and all their rowdy friends. So good luck to Tyler in the A-Mod. Now, let's go to the Granite City Motor Park. Another one of the gals that won a track championship, Ashley Merworth. She got a track championship, 1 win over there, and won by 3 points. 3 points over your national champ, Jake Smith. So congratulations to Ashley Merworth on her track championship at the Granite City Motor Park. Let's head up further north. Greenbush Race Park, Greenbush, Minnesota. Justin Olson in the 169, couple wins up there, 4 on the year. Didn't know a lot about this guy, but Dirt Race Central, they had the action. I was able to catch it. I was able to watch a bunch of these races, and guess what? He's fast. He's quick. He's gonna contend for championships again, and it'll be fun to watch moving forward. Halberline Speedway up in Proctor, Minnesota. Third generation driver Evan Chikulski. Of course, Dennis Chikulski, old veteran in the modified division for many, many years. Of course, his son, Kelly Chikulski, and now Evan Chikulski winning his first track championship and had a 1 win there as well up in Proctor. It'll be really, really exciting to see him mature into that class and even take more wins from these guys up north. Ogilvie Raceway. Let's head over to Ogilvie, Minnesota. 10 wins a total on the year, 5 here. Zach Benson in the 17B. Boy, if it weren't for bad luck, he'd have no luck. This guy is extremely fast, but it's like feast or famine. Zach, you put this deal together and keep your nose out of trouble, you're going to be contending for a natty here. And he's one of my dark horse picks to race for a national championship here in 2023. Now, let's head over to Western Minnesota. Fergus Falls at the I-94 EMR Speedway, Viking Speedway, the high-flying half-mile, the 9B. This kid is super fun to watch, Brendan Blasick. He won 5 features total, and he won by 1 point over veteran Travis Sauer, one of the best to ever be in a Midwest mod. Travis Sauer, he had a really good year last year. Blasick edged him out by 1 point. A-Mod in 2023 for Blasick. He said he's going to keep the Midwest mod, probably run a few specials in the area, but he's moving to an A-Mod, and it's going to be fun to watch another really, really good driver in that already very strong modified division at Alexandria and Fergus Falls. KRA Speedway over in Wilmer, your national champion. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. A second-generation driver, Jake Smith from St. Joe, 21 wins on the year, 6 of them coming at Wilmer. Another guy moving into the A-Mod division in 2023. So he's not going to back-to-back in Wilmer for track points, but he's also not going to win a national champion. So the door is wide open. Literally the door is wide open for who's going to race for a national championship in this class. Montana, Midwest mods out there. Jeremy Meerhofer, a pair of track championships. Big Sky Speedway in Billings, Gallatin Speedway in Belgrade. He had 5 wins in the Midwest mod. That cat races everything. He's in a mod. He's in a super stock. He's in this. I mean, he races about everything. And if he just put it all together and kind of like went all in, boy, he's another guy that he can flat out wheel a race car, and kind of fun watching him get around the track. Jordan, another tie. Here's another tie. Actually, at Gallatin, he tied with Jordan Tachi. I think it's Tachi on the 2C, who had a win over there. So literally, they only had a couple shows for the Midwest mods there, but there was a tie for the points between Meerhofer and Tachi. So 2 ties for points in Wissota Racing. And then here's another guy here. Keep an eye on this guy. This guy wins a lot of races, and he caught my attention in the offseason. The track champion at the Electric City Speedway in Great Falls, Joey Price. So Joey he won 10 of 12. That's impressive at Great Falls. But what caught my eye is he went down to like Volusia and stuff like that with his modified, and he had some pretty darn impressive runs down there. So really interesting to see what Joey Price is going to do moving forward here in 2023. Let's go up to North Dakota. Devil's Lake Speedway, Devil's Playground up in Prairie. The B.O. Jory Berg, track champion up there. He actually had 1 win, 4 total on the year. So a solid year for Jory Berg. Looking to see if he won anything else as far as track points. Thought maybe he did. Jamestown and Lisbon. So Jamestown and then the Cheyenne Speedway in Lisbon. Zach Ranke took the 22. He had no wins at Jamestown. He did have 3 total wins on the year. He won by 7 over Jaron Wibstad, so a pretty tight point race. And then he had 1 win in Lisbon, and he won by 8 over his brother Nate. So literally 2 championships. Both of them were pretty well contested. So kind of fun to see those heavily contested point battles. Tri-County Speedway in Wishek, Jeffrey Schwinn Jr. He kind of had a rough deal here too. So no wins, but super consistent year, won the track champion. And I said, what are the plans? He goes, well, first I got to heal up. So I don't know all the details what happened, but he broke his T10 vertebrae in the offseason here, healing up from surgery on that. Sounds like things are going good. Best of wishes here to Jeffrey, and hopefully he can have a speedy recovery, get back behind the wheel of that Midwest mod here before too long. River City Speedway up in Grand Forks, North Dakota, Lance Schill, 6 wins on the year up there. Pretty dominant up at the River City Speedway, 9 total in that Midwest mod, and double duty guy right there, Midwest mod and late model, wins races in both. He gets around the track really good. South Dakota, Black Hill Speedway out in Rapid City, Brandon Woodhead. He took the 008 driver from Box Elder by 1 point over Darren Hoff. Literally a 1-point battle. Another one of those great, heavily contested track championship battles. I remember the crowds getting heavily invested into those title races. That must have been a pretty fun one out in Rapid City. Brown County Speedway and the Miller Central Speedway, the 14 of Adam Brotherton. 9 total on the year. 1 win only at Brown County. 3 wins at Miller. And he won another heavily contested battle by 1 point over Lane Johnson. Of course, I believe his dad is the great Lauren Johnson, the dirt doctor. So a heavily contested one there. And then the Casino Speedway, the baddest bull ring in the state, Mikey Nichols in the 67, 4 wins, 9 on the year. Said he's planning to race a bunch this year. Said he's going to be at Fergus this week. I hope so, because that Midwest mod class, I love this class. It's probably the most competitive class in all of Wissota racing. Super fun to watch. And when you get some of these guys competing against each other, things get really fun. Wisconsin, ABC Raceway, Marcus Dunbar going to do double duty this year, running a second generation guy, ran against his dad, Dwayne, but he's going to run mod and Midwest mod in I think they call him the Dunbar build, I think, but he builds his own chassis over there. So it'll be fun to see what he can do with that. Cedar Lake Speedway, track rules deal. Jason Vandekamp, he got it done. A little bit of a change, right? He kind of had that the old Randy Hansen ride there, the Dominator, for quite a few years. He's in a DeVille Biss XD1 by Dave Caden Racing this year. New flavor of choice for old Vandy there at Cedar Lake. We'll see how that thing goes. I mean, them cars win races, but it's always a little bit of a transition getting into a new ride. It's going to be a fun challenge for the 16. Gondik Law Speedway up in Superior, Wisconsin, another second generation guy, Cody Carlson, with by far his best career year for him. 9 wins total, 3 on the year. Sounds like he might be racing a little bit more. Kind of the doors open, I tell you, with Tyler Kittner gone, Hibbing and Rapids are wide open. I mean, with Jake Smith out of it, right? Lucas Rodin's not going to race for Natty. It's wide open. All right. This is a year for any of these top drivers, any of these drivers. If there was ever a year to race for a national championship, this is it. This is it. Okay. Now, Rice Lake Speedway, Kenny Kincaid, a great season for him. He had a win over at Rice Lake, a track championship. Said he's probably going to dial her back a little bit this year. Just last year racing all in every single week for a track championship kind of wore him out a little bit. So not sure he's going to race quite as much. Maybe bounce around to a few shows or whatever. But congratulations, Kenny, on a track championship last year. Red Cedar Speedway. This guy is fun to watch. He had a really good year. I remember a couple of pretty good races, and for the life of me, I don't remember exactly when they were, but there was a couple really, really good races. Shadow Kitchener, 3 wins over there in Menominee, Wisconsin, and looking like he's going to be doing more of the same here in 2023. And then Eagle Valley Speedway, Jim Falls, Wisconsin, Jerry's World, CJ Wagner. He had looks like he 0 wins, but he won the championship. Now get this. So I had to look at some notes here. So he said he's not racing this year. He has no real plans. So he may be out. He may not. I'm not really sure. But he had 1 win at Rice Lake. Now this point battle, the top 4 were separated by 9 points. 9 points. He won by 2 points over Derek Haas, 6 points over Brady Larson, who had a really breakout year last year, and 9 points over Nick Kaler, who won a lot of big races. So 4 drivers separated by 9 points, and a winner didn't even win a feature. That is parity. That must have been an exciting battle over in Jim Falls. And I know they have a bunch of action on Dirt Race Central as well. So Wyoming, Casper Speedway in Casper, Dustin Mayhew, 2 wins, 1 point separated him and Cole Marlock. So congratulations to Dustin. Another one of those heavily contested point battles. Super fun to watch over there. Gillette Thunder Speedway, Colby Waite, 2 wins in his Fab 18. Had a great season last year. Looking to do more of the same. Excited for things to get started out in Gillette. Sheridan Speedway, Chad Switzenberg, 2 wins at Sheridan, 5 total on the year. He had a good year last year. I know he's a president or he's heavily involved with the board over there at Sheridan. So not just a racer, but it has a lot to do with keeping that place rolling. So tip of the cap to Chad. I know what it's like to do a little bit of both. Now let's head up to north of the border, Manitoba, Victory Lane Speedway in Winnipeg, on a perennial powerhouse racing for the national championship. COVID kind of set him back, looking to get back in a rhythm here in 2023. Austin Hunter, 3 wins, 5 total, 3 wins at Winnipeg. Got beat by a girl a couple times, right? I'm just kidding. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. She was really good up there. But Austin Hunter had a great year. I'm looking to see if maybe he decides to run Winnipeg, maybe bounce down to Devil's Lake a little bit, right? Grand Forks. That's the guy right there that's contended in the top 3-5 for national points. He's another one that could be in the hunt. Now let's go the other direction. And this driver here was outstanding last year. Brandon Rehill, track champion at the Emo Speedway in Emo and Lake of the Woods Speedway in Kenora. 13 wins on the year, 4 at Emo, 5 at Kenora. The St. Andrews, Manitoba driver caught my attention last year. I think this cat right here is going to win a bunch of races up there again, and it'll be interesting to see. I'd like to see these guys come down to the States. It's a long drive. Gas is not cheap, or fuel or whatever for the hauler, but it seemed like he was winning a feature or 2 almost every single week. He was really, really good last year. Another guy that was really good, David Simpson, track champion up at the Thunder City Speedway in Thunder Bay. 9 wins at Thunder Bay last year. Thunder Bay, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but they had, and it wasn't close, by far the most Midwest Modifieds on a weekly basis every single week at Thunder Bay, including that guy Cole Chernosky, right? I mean, he's pretty darn good. So to win the track championship at 9 features there, you got a pretty darn good hot rod. He come down to the States and won some as well. So let's jump over to some of the other stuff here. National champion Jake Smith, second generation guy. Bob Smith won a bunch of races in a mod back in the day. Said they're going A-Mod racing in 23. Rebel Midwest Mod Tour champion Lucas Rodin. Mostly going to run the Midwest Mod, going to run some specials, going to dabble a little bit with an A-Mod as well. But I tell you what, when the old Nightmare unloads, he's absolutely a threat I tried talking him into running for a natty. He goes, we'll see how it all plays out. So no real plans, but he's going to run a bunch of shows in the area. Mountain States Mod Tour champion Troy Liker. First and a second, one night rained out on the series. I said, you ready to roll yet, man? He sent me a picture and a cast. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like, whoa. So evidently he had surgery or whatever. So they said he could be out. The doctors told him probably 6 to 8 weeks. He said, well, that's a bunch of BS. It's going to be sooner than that. So get healed up, right? We get healed up. We need them Likers to be in race cars. 2022 Wissota National Rookie of the Year, Colby Reed from Kakabeka Falls, Ontario. Planning to run a few more shows down in the States this year. Congrats on them rookie honors. And then the state champions, Minnesota, Jake Smith, Wisconsin, Cody Carlson, North Dakota, Jory Berg, South Dakota, Adam Brotherton, Montana, Daniel Nichols, who incidentally moved to Lexington, Nebraska, and he's running an IMCA mod. When I was chatting with him, he's like, he's running like shit. Hopefully get this thing going. But so he's not going to be back in a Midwest mod. Matthew Drake in the 391 out in Wyoming. Same plans, not quite ready to roll yet. Rehill up in Canada had an outstanding season last year. So that's just a little bit of a shout out, folks, to, I guess, the last year's champions. And there has been some racing already. Midwest Mods actually got underway in Casper, Wyoming, a couple weeks back. Matt Heinzerling made the trip over, light on car count, but a win's a win. He had 13 wins in 22, got his first of the season on night number 1. And then week number 2, Sheridan Speedway in Wyoming, they had the spring showdown doubleheader. Well, I said the Likers need to be racing. Well, Tony got her done. He won night 1 and night 2. I texted Tony and I said, because he was in a contention, him and Troy both contended for a national championship here a couple years back when Rodine won it. And I said, 2 down, 28 to go. And he texted me, he goes, I'm going to stop at 29. And I flipped him off. I said, that's bullshit. And he just kind of laughed a little bit. I don't know if he wants to get caught up into a point battle or not, but by default, him and Troy both are phenomenal race car drivers. So I would love to see them contend for a natty because they're both very well worthy. Casper Speedway raced as well. Dustin Mayhew parked in victory lane. He had 2 and 22, light car count at Casper, but hey, a win is a win is a win. We've all had them. We've had nights where we have a lot of cars, nights where there's less cars. Driver can't control that. You do your job. You beat everybody that's on the racetrack. You win the race, whether it's 2, 4, or 44. It don't matter. Dustin Mayhew, a winner already in 23. And then the Electric City Speedway got underway also out in Great Falls. Cody Harvey in the 39 Junior. He won the opener, and he said third career win. He raced here the last couple of years, but he took a bunch of time off. And it was his first feature win back since taking a bunch of time off. So congratulations, Cody, on getting that one done. So race fans, Midwest Mod drivers, fans, teams, make sure to go to our YouTube page, right? Like, subscribe to the One to Go Show on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. We're going to have content each and every week. We're going to talk about the races. You can catch all the racing action, most of the racing action from Wissota on Dirt Race Central. Make sure to do that. Minnesota Truck Headquarters, buyraceshirts.com. Got to thank all of our great sponsors to kind of let us kind of keep bringing you this content. Want to give you drivers some love each and every week and kind of allow you guys to go out and gals to go out and do what you do and then give us a platform here to talk about your successes. So hopefully enjoy it and hopefully enjoy the show each week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.